So let's talk about collection agencies. There are a lot of people that get afraid and they run to the bankruptcy court because they get collection letters or collection agencies are calling them, threatening that they're going to garnish their wages, that they're going to take away their car, they're going to get them deported or get warrants on them or whatever. All of those things are illegal for collection agencies to do. Let's look at some things that they cannot do. A collection agency cannot contact you between 8 in the morning and 9 at night. If they do, it's a possible violation of the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. They can't contact you at work if you notified them that you should not or cannot be contacted at work. They can't talk to your neighbors and your friends about your debt. No, they can contact them if you put them down as references to try to find out where you are, but they can't discuss the debt that you owe with them. They can't make threats. They can't cuss you out on the phone. They can't make statements that would be considered as vulgar or inappropriate to you. You don't have to worry about these collection letters that you're getting. They're considered as duns, especially if the collection agency is not from the same state that you live in. For example, if you live in Texas and you get a collection letter from Georgia, one of the things you need to do is contact the Secretary of State in Texas and find out if that collection agency that sent you that collection letter from Georgia is licensed to collect debts from citizens in Texas. 9 times out of 10, they're not. And if they're not, then file a complaint with the Consumer Protection Agency in the state of Texas. Get you a lawyer also because you're probably about to get paid. The Fair Debt Collection Practices Act imposes fines against collection agencies that violate the law to collect debts of $1,000 per day per violation. So every time you get a letter, every time they make a phone call, you should document those things, keep those letters, because once you notify them in writing, preferably, that you no longer want to be contacted about the debt, they can't contact you anymore. Some of the things that you shouldn't do is that you should not give a collector a post-dated check because post-dated checks are not normally done. And even if you did give someone a post-dated check 30 days, 45 days out, or 20 days out, within 14 days of them negotiating that check, or within a few days of them negotiating that check, actually if it's written more than 14 days out, they have to notify you that they're going to negotiate it, that they're going to put it through, just to remind you that you wrote that post-dated check and now they're going to try to negotiate it. If they fail to do that, it's a violation. They can't put the check in prior to the date that you told them to present it for payment. If anything changes, you can always call them back and tell them that you need to make different arrangements because that check will not be good. They cannot negotiate the check knowing that the funds are not there if you call them or go down there and notify them that you need to make different arrangements. The better thing to do is just not do it in the first place. The other thing you need to know about this is that there's a thing called statute of limitations. In most states, depending on whether it was a written agreement or some type of revolving credit agreement, it's 4 to 5 years. If a debt is more than 4 years old in some jurisdictions and 5 in other states, the collection agency can never sue on it. So you don't have to worry about being sued. What they can do, they can heckle you to death by sending you these dunning letters demanding payment, but they can never take you to court. In that case, you can negotiate the debt with them or you can ignore it if you don't believe that you really owe it. Because can they take you to court? No. Can they continue to harass you about it? Technically they can, unless you know how to assert your rights under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. To stop a collection agency from calling you, because some folks, they don't even answer their phones anymore or answer their door because collectors, you simply need to put in writing that you no longer want to be contacted by that collection agency concerning that debt. Remember, collection agencies are third-party agents that are collecting the debt, usually on the behalf of someone else. Now, if you go down to Rent-A-Center and you get furniture and you fall behind and Rent-A-Center is trying to collect the debt, that's fine. They don't fall under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Any creditor that's trying to collect his own debt doesn't fall under the act. However, third-party collection agencies do. And you can stop those contacts because you didn't sign an agreement to do business with them anyway. And you can just let them know, hey, it's my policy not to do business with third-party collection agencies. So thank you for reminding me of the debt. I'll contact the original creditor and work something out with them. And that's usually what you should do. You don't have to go to the bankruptcy court if you're being harassed by creditors. If that is the reason that you're going, you can simply contact that collector and tell them not to contact you anymore. If the debt is less than 4 years old, however, they may take you to court, or they can take you to court if you cause them to cease and desist their contact. However, look at the amount of the debt. If the debt is not worth them taking to court, they usually won't. If it's a very, very small amount of money and it's going to cost them more to collect it than it is to just write it off or charge it off, then that's what they will do. So don't get forced into bankruptcy because the collection agency is calling you. Find out how to assert your rights. You can go to our Facebook page, which is the Consumer Financial Service Center. Consumer Financial Service Center. You can go to our Facebook page if you want free information on how to deal with collection agencies. We'll be happy to send it to you. Or you can send me an email at johnmcarter0729@gmail.com. I'll be happy to send you the information. That's no cost to you. Again, that's johnmcarter0729@gmail.com.